There's no music. We're just going.
Oh, are we going?
Yeah, I'll put the music in later.
Cool.
It's unfiltered tonight.
Unfiltered. You went with it. You even didn't even give me a chance to
To
know that you were
unfilter
doing it.
yourself.
You said
Well,
pending decision, and here we are, pending decision.
here we are. We got to do this podcast tonight.
I love
How do
it.
we do? Yeah. So Broncos. Oh.
Okay, so I want to say this. Okay, people that don't. I've alluded to it, and I don't say this from a statement of poverty, even though that's where it originated from. But like, I seriously haven't watched a full game of football in probably 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, I don't get to watch games, and like, it's fine for the Huskers because it kind of just like, it's so hard to watch them sometimes. But when I can watch a Broncos game, it's like, it's I don't know, it's like a treat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What kind of treat do you think? Like,
what
Cheesecake
kind of treat?
Factory? Like a cheesecake or Dilly Bar?
It's kind of like a treat, like your mom's spaghetti.
Mom's spaghetti.
When you know how, like,
My mom doesn't make spaghetti. It's
not
lasagna.
your mom.
Do you not listen to this podcast?
Not your mom, but it's just like mom's spaghetti. So, like, one of the things that's like one of those comfort foods is that for me is mom's spaghetti. And my mom just made very basic spaghetti, but we had spaghetti tonight too, so that was.
Oh, yeah. Did it make you feel like 22?
Sort of. It did not make me feel like vomiting on my sweater, though.
What is going on right now? This podcast is unhinged.
But let me go back to the Broncos. Okay, so I don't get to watch games, and I tried to sign into. You give me access to sign into but CBS doesn't work in Allo, and that's fine.
No, you have to do it through Paramount Plus.
But even then, it won't let me sign in through Allo.
No, because I can't even,
because you guys don't have it. But like, my dad had it. That's how Brady watched it last week. And by the time I checked the score, it was 7-0 in the first quarter. I thought, oh, that's cool. Okay, but here's the thing. Here's how I get my updates, because I watch it through Gamecast, just watching the score.
Yeah.
And I get my updates on how the game really went by listening to sports radio on my 2-hour drive every day. So I get a text from Ian. Kudos to Ian for being on the show last week and did a great job.
Throwing wieners at his brother.
That was, throwing wieners at his brother. But
sorry.
So I find out that Denver could have been up 10-0 in the first quarter, but they didn't kick a field goal, and instead they went for it on fourth down in deep inside New England territory.
Yeah.
Now, weather became a factor later. I'm only going off of what I've been told, okay?
Snowstorm.
So if you're up 10-0 in the first quarter, and then the weather hits really bad, and somebody said that I was listening to said it basically eliminated a quarter and a half of that game. Weather did.
I 100% agree. I watched halftime on. Well, I watched the whole game, but I really focused and watched it over at Josh's house. We watched both games, and it just came down. Like, nobody could do anything.
Yeah. So as a Broncos fan, I'm watching the score. I don't know what that's happened, but to me, that's I'm gonna call it out, because he should get the blame for that. That's a coaching issue.
Yeah.
You're at home with a backup quarterback, and you got a chance to go up 2 scores to none.
Kick the field goal.
Kick the field goal, take the points, and you don't stop believing.
You don't stop believing.
That's just how it goes. So now Stidham made some mistakes. You get an intentional grounding call, but I found out that was kind of, nobody understood why that was called the way it was, because it could have been a batted pass, but nobody saw that, and it's like because of the weather. And even Rabel said, your Uncle Rabel said,
My Uncle Rabel.
why'd you blow the whistle? We don't know what's happened and all these things. So, but 10-7, not a fun game to watch. I'm sure I didn't get to watch any of it, but yeah, the text I get was, I told you, and I'm like, then what I hear today from the experts was Denver should have won, and Sean Payton kicked himself in the foot.
Yeah,
he got knocked down, but he didn't get up again.
He didn't, but now he's got an off season to get toned, tan, and fit. Be ready for the next.
That's
year.
Right. That's right. He does, and he will. He'll be filling 22 all over again.
Oh my gosh.
Here's the thing about the NFL and trying to get to the Super Bowl. So this Super Bowl that's coming up, and I'm sure we'll talk about it a little bit. Seahawks and Patriots, 2015. They met in the Super Bowl before.
Yep. What happened in that game? Should have gave it to Marshawn Lynch.
That's right. Yeah. You don't know what you got till it's gone.
Should have gave him the Skittles. Dude would have been going crazy. But no, they had to throw the ball and get intercepted. Do you remember the defensive back's name who intercepted the ball? I don't think. I think I know what it is.
But
I think I know what it is.
I used to know. Go ahead.
Was it Branch?
No, that's the wide receiver.
Butler, or was it Butler?
Butler. Yeah. It was Butler.
I knew it was a B name. I mean, I knew a lot of B names in high school, but whatever. It happens. should be careful. My kids' names are B's.
Yeah.
Got a wife name starts with a B. I might get myself in trouble here.
Yeah.
Better stop.
But I have my name said as BJ, a gracious loser, maybe. I just, as a Bronco fan, I heard somebody else, this wasn't an expert, I think it was their guess, that this was the first AFC Championship game that Denver's lost at home.
Okay.
I don't know that it is. I think they might have had one when, I think the Jacksonville game in 96 was at home when Mark Brunell beat them.
Lefty Brunell.
But I could be wrong about that.
Fred Taylor, the running back.
Yeah. I don't think Fred
Taylor was amazing on Madden.
He was a beast for sure.
I remember one play I would just do make him get like 100-yard plays all the time.
Yeah. But that I don't think Denver beats Seattle, not with a backup quarterback.
No.
And I think it's Seattle's year. I think they win. And yeah, I hope I get to watch it. I think I do. I think we're gonna have a little party with some people.
It's on Peacock.
I have that.
Yeah, there you go. You're good. Start planning your party now. You don't have to worry about the TVs.
That's right.
Did you know that I read something that every year this last year in 2025 we had a new pope, right?
Oh, I saw this.
25, and every year that the Seattle's made it to the Super Bowl, it's been a year of a new pope.
New pope, yeah. And here's what's crazy to think about. I don't know, because do you remember when we were? I don't know if we were still living together or if I was living with Charisse, but when we drive around and I talk about being Catholic and wanting to be the first married pope.
I do kind of remember.
You remember that?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of religions that you wanted to be a part of.
Oh, no, watch it.
Watch it. I'm just joking. Kind of. I don't know how that would have worked out for you.
No, it wouldn't have. But
no, probably not.
It's when I look at that, when I saw that reel today, I thought we have lived through three popes, Justin, in our lifetime,
and three head coaches for the Steelers. If you think about that,
which that's pretty amazing too, because they've only had 4, right?
Yes. Sorry, they hired a new coach.
Yeah, I saw that. Your guy's going to the Steelers.
My guy? Like I own him or something? I think we stopped owning people a long time ago.
Well, yeah, he's your old coach.
Sure. He'll get him. I don't know if he'll get him over the hump, but he'll he'll get them on the right track.
I don't know. I kind of thought this could be their way of being done with winning in Pittsburgh.
No, well, I mean, they're going to get their quarterback, and then
who are they going to get?
I don't know. I don't even know where they're drafting.
Yeah.
I don't know. They'll get somebody. So, how was your weekend? Pretty chill? Or did you run around town like a crazy person?
I didn't. I had the boys, and the girls were gone, so it was a boys' weekend. And yeah, I went and got a few groceries, and then cooked dinner Saturday night, and then played video games with the boys and just hung out. So it was pretty chill.
That's awesome.
How about yours?
It was cold.
Yeah.
Stayed inside when we could. We had to get out for archery for Brenton. So that was good. He shot his right around his average, so he's staying the course. Other than that, though,
did he ever get a new bow?
He did buy one right before we went to regionals.
Cool.
So he shot his new bow. He shot his new bow in between state qualifying and then regionals. And so he took it to regionals and shot it for the first time without shooting it all year. So,
wow.
So yeah, and he shot. I don't remember what he shot at regionals. 255 at regionals. I thought that was at state. What'd you shoot in Louisville, Bren? Bren's walking by, interrupting.
Whoa,
Brenton. I don't know. Well, he shot over 250 because one of the vendors gave him a sticker for being in the 250 club.
Oh, nice.
Because that's, I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's like bowling.
Does he?
Over 250 are good.
When you went to shoot, does he still use the mantra of the late great Elvis?
What?
And he just kind of says to you, Dad, I just need a little less conversation and a little more action.
You know what? Last year he didn't want. Did we talk about this last year a little bit? Where he didn't want to talk about anything. Yeah. Well, this year I sat there and was not talking to him. I wasn't going to bring up anything, and he just kept on talking to me. And I was like, "Hang on a second. Do you want me to respond?" And he's like, "Nah." He's like, "I'm good. I'm dialed." He's like, "I got it. We're good." And I was like, "Oh, okay. So you want to talk about this time?" And he's like, "Yep." So we would just talk about like certain shots or we would just talk about like, hey, that one at the very end was your worst and you did really well. And he would say, and then he gave me this look, and normally this look means that he's upset about something. And he's like, I just need to get annoyed by something. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I shoot better when I'm not so relaxed. I need to be annoyed by something. And I was like, well, you got a whole room full of people. Who do you want to be annoyed with? Because I can think about 6 different people. So, but yeah. So then I don't know what he never told me what he got annoyed about, or what he told himself he was going to be annoyed about. So maybe he was thinking about the fact that we were going to talk about him on the podcast, and he's going to get annoyed with that.
He wasn't. He was just living on a prayer.
He was. Will you stop? I feel like someone put you up to something. This wasn't in the pre-show.
This is the pre-show. The one where we pre-show record.
Oh yeah, this is our unhinged episode. But yeah, no. So Brenton's doing that and then just church on Sundays, and then I got out to go watch football at Josh's house in his Vivid Sign Company Vivid Sign Co.'s movie theater in his basement. So shout out.
This segment brought to you by Vivid Sign Co.
So we got to sit there and watch. He was rooting for the, he's a Raiders fan, and he was rooting for the Broncos because he doesn't like the Patriots at all.
I mean, because he's put that. It was a fumble on the.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So we sat there and watched football the rest of the evening. The Rams kind of pissed down their leg a little bit too. They should have kicked a field goal and left more time on the clock. So when they got the ball back, they would only had to kick a field goal to win versus trying to get a touchdown. But to each their own.
So what do you think about the end of that game and the? So I've been a football referee, but what do you think about that out of bounds no call?
The one at the very end?
Yep.
His butt was down first before he reached out of bounds.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the NFL is so weird on that, like out of bounds, like because they'll call, they'll call forward progress right away. If you try to like spin around and come and go out of bounds, they'll be like, "Oh, forward progress. Let's keep the clock running."
It's the intent of the play, right? That's what forward progress is too. I mean,
correct.
I was a line judge on the football field, and so
what number were you? Sorry, put you on the spot again.
What number was I?
Yeah, don't line judges have numbers?
I was going to say something inappropriate, but I won't do that. Oh. I was just kind of feeling 22. So,
stop. Oh my God. This is something else.
We didn't have numbers.
Oh, you didn't?
No, but so when we were taught to do forward progress, it's the last place you see the ball, and then you run in on it, right? So it's the intent of, and then you have a judgment call. When these referees make the judgment call on like targeting, or they're going off the intent of the play.
Yeah.
They're judging the intent of the player, right? So therefore, at the end I'm going to agree with Scott Van Pelt on this. He said the same thing. He said, the intent of the play is he's getting out of bounds. So unless there is a obvious tackle inbounds, or they pull them back inbounds, like they've stopped forward progress and they haven't. But if it's so close like that and the intent is out of bounds, let them have it. I get letting the clock run in the first and third quarters, but come on, at the end of the game when they're driving and they just made that play, give them one more.
Yeah, but I will say that's. I think it's called pretty consistently that way all the time.
Well, it is. I'm just saying if we're going to – what's not consistent, what I'm saying is not consistent is calling intent on some plays and not on others.
Yeah. I'm with you.
If we're going to have judgment calls, then, again, I go back to if you're going to have judgment calls, then you got to get rid of replay.
Yeah.
But if you're going to have replay, then you got to get rid of judgment calls. Everything's got to be by the book, and then you got to get rid of. Well, that goes back to even what Ian was saying about that. I didn't see it again. The interception in the Bronco Buffalo game, versus the other one. If they're down, if it's a catch or no catch, there's judgment there, and they review it. They said the same thing in the. I heard this too. Again, I didn't see it, but they said the same thing about the. Quarterback sneak with Drake May. They said that 4th and 1, he didn't get it, but nobody's going to reverse that play because it's a judgment call, and nobody's going to reverse that play because what we don't see from a TV perspective is when was the whistle blown.
Yep, how come they never put the sound on those so we could hear when something like that happens?
It's a good point.
How come that? I mean, the mics.
Know why?
Why?
Because the referees
are in on it.
They are so vain. They think that this game is about them. And it's just not. It's like, let them play the game.
Oh, yeah.
Like we don't need no scrubs. Come on. Can't get no love.
This is becoming a beautiful disaster. That's for sure. Beautiful disaster. That's what this is happening. Oh gosh, what is?
Well, we're talking a lot of sports already.
Well, it's that time of the year. We say that for every time of the year.
But let's go off sports for a minute.
All right, what are we going to talk about?
I want to ask a question about your kids, and I know you haven't got permission for this, so tread lightly.
Okay.
Because if you get knocked down, I hope you can get back up again. Your daughter posted a reel at youth group the other night of their worship time.
Yes.
And I was curious as to where Brielle was when that was taken.
Where she was?
Like which one is she in that picture? You know what I'm talking about?
I know the reel you're talking about.
And then was Brenton there too?
Yeah, so Brenton, when they do those back, Brenton stands in the same spot all the time when they're worshiping. Bree's usually right in the middle.
In the front?
In the front.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was her.
Usually next to, well, it's pretty close. I think they all kind of stay in the same spot. Bree's usually like right in the middle.
Yeah.
That's when she sits at church on Sundays, she's right in the middle. But Brenton is usually all over off to the side. There's a group of boys that just kind of hang out and worship and not really into it. You know how that goes?
So
I mean, he's into it, but not like some of the people that you see in the videos.
Well,
it'd be like me.
Yeah, if I saw him correctly, I mean, he was. Everybody does their own thing, and that's fine. And I was very impressed with who I thought were your two kids and how they were handling themselves. So,
yeah, no, I think that's kind of always been the thing is being engaged, however that looks.
Yeah.
And I know that our kids have been, from Marson, not being a pastor's kid, or just being around the church as much as we have. Mm-hmm. Our kids have been, anytime it seems like you've kind of said, that if the doors are open, we're kind of there doing something or taking it along. And that was the biggest thing for Bree when, youth started. Youth was so important youth group was so important to Becky and I that when she started, she didn't really want to do it. She was really young. I mean, she was like one of the youngest ones, and there wasn't very many of our friends. And then you can't keep her away from the church.
Yeah.
And that was something hard that, and I'll speak for Brenton on this, and that was kind of something hard of, just seeing Bree as a role model, but just picking up on that and kind of try, carving your own path.
Yeah.
And how that looks. And so I think that's been something, because for a while there, Brenton, it was, we all went through it. You just kind of, I don't want to go to youth group, or I don't want to do this. And then, okay, but just anytime that it was available to go, you invite. And now his weekly schedule involves, whatever. Oh, we have this tonight at the church. We have this. Oh, okay. So,
yeah,
which is cool to see. So, and he's just getting, kind of coming out of his shell a little bit when you're 13,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we just told the kids, all right, especially like just because everybody else is worshiping that way doesn't mean that's not how you might not worship.
Yeah.
Or take in the word. Everybody takes it in differently and how you absorb it. So doesn't always have to look the same for everybody.
Yeah, I had a similar conversation with one of my kids a couple weeks ago, just church has looked different for our family, obviously, through this
Yeah.
season, and where church was a requirement, there wasn't a choice. You had to be there because we were there, and you were going to be
Yeah.
there, and um, but at the same time, as Ian mentioned last week, I mean, for all of our kids, it's become a personal thing, and that's what I saw with Brielle and Brenton both. Just it becomes their own, and that's what you hope for, and that's what you pray for with your kids, is that their faith becomes personable. I mean, I pray
Yeah.
for all of our kids every day. I pray that God would draw them close to Himself, that He would make Himself known to them, and that they would know Him, not just know about Him.
Yeah.
And I think we have to. So I told my kid a couple of weeks ago. I said, church looks different to us now. Our faith has become more. We have more liberty in our faith now, which has been really cool. But that's even affected my kids, where, like Ian said last week, even though he's an adult now or whatever, but through what we've been through, there's not this expectation of requirement,
Yeah.
and so you do have some freedom. But what I encouraged my kid was, hey, this is the one thing that will matter forever, and so don't lose sight of that. Yeah, you don't have to go to church every Sunday to go to heaven. Yeah, you don't have to go to the same church the rest of your life to go to heaven.
Yeah.
But Jesus needs to be a personal relationship, and that never changes. But how that's lived out and exemplified can be different for. I don't want to rationalize Christianity. Don't hear that. But
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying.
No, I do. Yeah. I mean, especially when, I mean, the stuff that you went through in the church, the series of church hurt, right?
Mm-hmm.
It can drive somebody away pretty easy. And if you weren't grounded, right, and understood, and there is some hurdles and travels that you go through to kind of be like, okay, what are we doing here? Why what's happening to us? And if you didn't have that strong urge that these people, it's you and your walk. If you didn't have that, you would probably stray away. But being able to do your own time with God and your own time away and trying to go get reconnected somewhere, and sometimes I don't really know what I'm blabbing about, but but just kind of I just think about, like, you and Heidi's journey, through this time, this 2.5, 3 years, whatever it's been.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy to think about that, to be honest with you, but just like, if you didn't have that and then have those core people that were in your corner the whole time, if you had to do it all alone, which I know, like you've talked about, sometimes it felt like you were alone. But yeah, it looks different. You're right. And we grew up, you got to be there every Sunday, even if you weren't a PK, right? It was like, oh, church doors are open. You got to be there. Got to do
Well,
something. And
and it's not just the pastor's family. I mean,
no,
you're a part of a family that, like you said, your dad was Sunday school teacher, your mom worked at the church. I mean, there's so many families like ours, like yours and like mine, that Heidi's from the same kind of family too, where
mhm,
it's not just the pastor. There's families that are committed, and church is life.
yeah,
And we have to guard against church becoming identity. Like, I fell into that trap, but it it can be life, and it can be life giving, and all of those things. And the sooner our kids get that and can make it their own, I mean, it just is a really cool thing to see.
well, that's where, like, I've jokingly said on the podcast, and everybody, I think Brad kind of made it, had fun with it and poked at it a little bit about, you got Justin, and then he's got these two great kids. Like they must have got it from their mom or something. But just like I never felt like I should force it upon them. Always let them have choices, and I think that's for church and in a lot of things in life. And yeah, it's amazing to see both of them where they're at in their journey and where they're going. Honestly,
have you ever made them go to church then?
I think we did. I'm trying to think. I don't. I think there's a one or two times where I was like, "You have to go to church. You're going with us when we drag you." But I remember having a conversation afterwards, like, "Well, we're not going to do this every Sunday. We're not going to fight this."
Mm-hmm.
But it was also like, it's also kind of hard when there's a dynamic of, like Brenton always loved, he sits with Becky a lot during church. So when Becky doesn't go, he watches services or does service with Becky when she's at home. And I think that's obviously a product of a lot of things that we've gone through.
Sure.
Just being able to be with Becky and the times that we missed
Yep.
those many days, so I think there's a little bit of that. And I think over time, once that happened, I was like, I wasn't going to fight it.
Yeah.
I was just going to bring up the opportunity each time and just say, because at that point, I think that's I don't want to lose that relationship and stuff with kids or anybody over something.
Well,
it seems small. I say small, but
as the kids say, it's not that deep, but it is that deep. It is. Yeah. It is one of those things that matters, and that's when that argument gets put onto me. Well, it's not that deep. You don't need to get this up, passionate about it. I'm like, yeah, it is. It is that deep. It's eternity, and correct. There can be practices that are not that deep. Agreed. And there's circumstances like yours and like mine that warrant us to make a different decision. And there's so many more out there. We don't know what everybody's gone through to make their decision the way it is. I met a guy last year that, he couldn't step into a church that was over 100 people because of trauma that he had.
Yeah.
And it took him multiple years to be able to walk into the actual building of a large church. So, we don't know what kind of stuff is in people's lives that make them, like you just said about your family. That makes sense. If she's at home doing church, you're going to spend time with your mom. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And I think in the past we would fight and be like, no, you need to go to church, even, but we didn't. I think we did it like a couple times. Like, there's not even moments I even remember those. Like, yeah. That's how often it that we had to fight for it.
I remember as a kid, I think it was that age 13, 14. For me, it was probably a little bit younger because at 13, I got it and I was leading youth group. But I remember making a comment once that I wasn't going to go. And like you said, it was this, I don't remember all the details, but I remember, basically in the moment, my dad getting upset and saying, no, you are going. We'll talk about this later. And kind of that, we provide for you. You're going to do this. And I'm not saying that's what it was, but after the moment when we got home that day, it was like what you said. It was like, hey, this is a non-negotiable. It was calm. It was measured. It was explained.
Yeah.
There's questions that can be asked, but really the explanations that come out of that are like, okay, I respect my parents. I'm going to do this because they're asking me and they're respecting me and how they're approaching it. And I remember if we had that conversation with our kids, it might've been once, that's it.
Yeah.
And now, it's different because I'm not with my kids all the time and I'm not with them on the weekends all the time. And when they are, getting them to go to church with me is hard now. But we love every chance we get, so it's cool.
Yeah, and I think those are things. Yeah, I do remember times where I remember my dad being pretty hard in a positive way about being there. I remember the Sunday mornings fight. It always seems like when you're that age, you're always tired on Sunday mornings, but never Saturday mornings.
Yeah. Yep.
So
I heard the excuse. It's my only day to sleep in the other day. I thought, oh my gosh, I can't believe you just pulled that as a teenager.
Yeah, you're like, you can sleep in on Saturdays.
Yeah.
But no, that's yeah, it's yeah, it's definitely a cool thing that there are families out there who probably it is a struggle and they don't know how to navigate through that sometimes, because sometimes having their parents, the parents are wanting, sometimes these parents come because their kids are involved, and then when their kid is not really going, they put pressure on the kid that they need to go.
Yeah.
And then they feel like they're stepping back in their walk because they didn't make it one Sunday.
Yeah. Well, and you also have the other extreme where church becomes a punishment for those parents that don't have faith
Correct.
in their life. And I remember in Pueblo, we had a girl that her mom she was messed up, and she'd go to church with us occasionally. And then there were times where she wouldn't go and something had happened. But then there were other times where she got in trouble and her mom said, okay, you have to go to church because you're in trouble. Like, okay, that doesn't really make sense, but
yeah, it's,
you hope you can get to this place.
Yes.
You hope you can get to this place where that when you have this relationship, that every time you step in the building, everybody's hands go up and they just stay up.
Oh my gosh.
That would be a great worship song. Okay, at least that lyric. That song might not be, but
just that lyric?
Just that lyric. It's like, hey, if we're worshiping, and so that's what made me think of that reel. And I don't want to embarrass your kids at all. I just thought my heart melted.
Yeah.
Because of just the acts of worship that not just your kids, but just that youth group. I mean, kudos to Brad and the team and everybody to create an atmosphere where, those kids, they want to, their hands go up and they stay up. So.
Yes, it's very true. Very true. But speaking of church news.
Yeah.
Speaking of church, we have church news.
Uh-oh.
So in a Facebook group called Grow Lincoln, which they pull all the new information, closing information about restaurants, businesses, and all that stuff, there was a post I came across today that said Connecting Point Church has pulled a tenant finish permit for their new church assembly. Phase one of their permit is valued at $1.1 million. So we're moving. We're getting going.
Wow.
Yeah. Sounds like I think all the architect plans and stuff are all done. I think they've gone out to bid for contractors, and so hopefully we'll get things going on this. It might be this year still, God willing. But yeah, no, we church has started their process. Started the process of we're going to be probably breaking ground here in the next few months. So
breaking ground.
Well, I mean, we got to break up the concrete in some of the areas inside that church.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know. Ribbon cutting of, I don't know. What do you call it?
I don't know. I was confused. Like, are you moving again? But no, you're just talking about renovating your location.
Well, the renovating hopefully we'll be in the grocery store, the meat and beer section of the mall.
Nice.
So I've been trying to petition to get something up there that doesn't say meat and beer that I think would be a destination thing.
You should get one that's.
Okay, I'm being curious. Well, so it has to be meat and beer, so it's got to be 5 and 4. So
No.
what would you do?
Oh, I was because another liquor stores and stuff are like spirits, wine and spirits.
Yeah,
you could have like God and Holy Spirit or something like that.
Good. I think it'd be cool, and I'm not getting any traction. No one wants to hear it from me. I think it'd be cool to have everybody knows that signage, right? They know it for meat and beer, but they just know that iconic bubbled, like square bubbled sign. I think it'd be cool to have something that would say something in there that doesn't just say our church name, but just like, that church that has the words right above, that just like a destination, just having that one thing, like that one thing that's kind of like a business card that you could just say what it is and they know
the landmark.
Yeah, like a landmark.
Yeah.
Since that sign that's on top of the building is grandfathered in, like you can't, if we were to take down the structure, like the bars and stuff of that sign, we took the signs down, but the structure to hold the signs had to stay in place because they're grandfathered in. The things that are bolted to the building or however they're attached.
The meat and beer sign?
Yeah.
So the meat and beer's gone.
Meat and beer's down.
You just have poles sticking up.
We just have the structure holding up that would hold up the signs. But if we were to take those down and then say we're going to put up our new sign, they would say, "Oh, you can't do that because the previous structure is grandfathered in." Is my understanding, which is kind of interesting. But
so you could just make a sign around that structure and leave the structure there.
Well, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
So we could put a sign on top of the building. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a sign allowed on top of the building, is my understanding.
I see.
Because of that. So that's why I was like, we should have something that'd be like a big old giant arrow. So, this is
so meat and beer. Yeah, that's 8 letters.
Yeah, I thought fish and wine or something like that. Fish and loaves. Fish and loaves would be cool.
Yeah.
Or bread and wine or something.
Yeah.
But then I was told Nazarenes, we don't have wine. So I said gluten-free crackers. That's what I said. Everybody was tired of having 2 separate crackers back when we did communion, so we just all do gluten-free ones now.
Juice and wafers.
Juice and wafers, yeah.
Or just have it. This is 8 letters, right? I think Jeez-It. Like the Jeez-It communion cups.
Oh my God, Jeez-Its. Oh, but yeah. So churches filed their permit to start building once the contractors. Like I said, I think the contractors are. I think they're going to be bidding or have bid, but permits are out there. We're ready to rock and roll on phase 1.
Cool. So, that's awesome.
Yeah, be stressful. Not for me. I think for everybody else.
Well, that's cool.
I won't have to do any install. Like, I won't have to install anything this time around. Like, we're paying for all of that. Like, I don't have to run wire. I don't have to climb scaffolding.
Nice.
Hallelujah.
That's awesome.
Getting too old for that.
You know what that makes me want to do?
Raise your hands up.
Leave my hands up in the air.
Like you just don't care?
And I just don't care. But I do care. When my hands go up, then they're going to stay up. We're going to praise Jesus with our hands up. When are we going to do a video? We're doing our pre-show recording podcast tonight. But when are we going to do a video one?
When are we going to do live video? Like, we're going to actually do a video podcast?
Yeah, just like one, because I don't think we can record as long and keep it free. Unless we get Vivid Sign Code to give us a little donation to get us one episode of video or something.
One episode of video?
if we had to pay for it or something, Or what was your other friend's name? Her business?
I don't think they landed on a name for it yet. It was a juice bar one, but I don't remember what she landed on.
Oh, she's gonna hate us because we don't remember. Because I think.
Well, no, I don't know if she's gonna go with the company. I don't remember what she said.
Mm.
I wasn't marrying myself to saying what the business name was because it's not officially up on a sign.
Got it.
So I would hate to
do damage. I get it.
Yeah, because what if it's like a name that then gets her in trouble?
Yeah, no, we don't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't have the money to deal with that.
No.
Speaking of money,
yeah,
is Nebraska going to win tomorrow night?
I was looking at the rankings today, and I was like, man, they're fifth in the rankings today, and Michigan's 2, Michigan State's 7, Illinois' 9,
and we play Purdue.
And we play Purdue.
Yeah, it's crazy. The 3 games Nebraska has next.
Is it Michigan?
Michigan.
Yeah.
Michigan, Illinois, Purdue.
Yeah. But they've already beat Illinois once, right?
Yeah, at Illinois.
So,
they get Illinois and Purdue at home and Michigan on the road.
So here's my thought. Michigan is like, from what I've heard and seen, because again, I don't watch a whole lot.
They're legit.
They're like an NBA team.
They have a 7-3 dude.
And they're coached to destroy everybody. So them in Arizona. Arizona's 20-0. Nebraska's 20-0. UConn's 19-1. Michigan's, what are they, 19-1? 18-2?
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
Michigan State's 18-2. So I think here's my bold prediction. Nebraska by 10.
Nebraska by 10, yeah! Well, they're 10.5 point underdogs right now. That's a big swing.
Yeah.
You know what? Nebraska, I heard somebody say this today. Nebraska has more pressure to win one tournament game than they do to win the national championship.
So here's the thing.
And they're in some bracketologists as a top 4 1 seed.
That's crazy. That's so crazy.
And they've never won an NCAA game.
That should not be allowed. One, but here's the thing, okay? Because the mayor, Fred Hoiberg,
yep,
he was the coach at Iowa State when Iowa State was the number 2 seed.
Correct,
if I'm not mistaken, and they lost to the 15 seed.
Was that the same group? Right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. I think you might be right. 15 seed. No, who was it?
Because they had Marcus Pfizer and. Anyway, I think that's the same group. So here's what I want to say about Michigan because of Fred Hoiberg. Fred Hoiberg is not scared of anybody. Fred Hoiberg won at Iowa State. He won in Chicago. He's won to the NBA. He's done so he can come to Nebraska. They're 20-0, but here's what's crazy. Think about this for a minute, Justin. Nebraska volleyball went undefeated until the semifinals.
Yeah.
Now they're a national powerhouse in volleyball,
yes.
And they're going to be back next year. They'll be a top 4 team. I mean, there's no doubt about it. But
they lost nobody players in the transfer portal, and nobody transferred.
How crazy would it be if Nebraska goes undefeated for the regular season and loses in the first round because they can't win a tournament game?
Dude, that would suck.
Yeah, it would.
Like, that would be – I think that would bring on a new – I'm going to use this loosely – sports depression. I didn't want to just say depression because –
yeah.
But a sports depression around here, if that happened.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, my gosh, that would be something else.
Mm-hmm. No, I think Nebraska can – I think they can pull it off. Fred Hoiberg knows how to win. And
yeah,
he knows how to do it against big teams, and he's not scared of anybody. So, I mean, he's not going to be scared of Michigan. He's going to have a good game plan, and he's going to have his guys ready to go. But I mean, it's Nebraska, but yeah, I'll ride the train. Go Nebraska.
The thing with they say that Fred's best teams at Iowa State, Nebraska's defense is better than any of those teams that they had.
Completely agree.
And their offense, and Nebraska's offense is right there on par. But
well,
the defense is way better.
And I said this about him at Iowa State, because if he could win at Iowa State and get those guys at Iowa State, then he could do it anywhere. And that had to be his motto coming into Nebraska. Nebraska hadn't been a winning program in basketball. Yeah. So if he's not afraid of the challenge. And so, no, but I agree. He can get better players at Nebraska than you can at Iowa State. So you might as well be able to do it anywhere.
We're going to have an errors and omission on live unfiltered podcast.
Okay.
It wasn't Fred Hoiberg's team that was a 15 seed that lost.
Okay.
It was Larry Eustacia.
So it was right after Hoiberg left.
No, that happened in 2001. So Hoiberg didn't come until 2010, 2015.
Till Iowa State?
Yeah. 100%.
Wow.
As a coach, right? We're talking about as a coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. He coached the Fred Hoiberg era was 2010 to 2015.
At Iowa State.
At Iowa State.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I thought it was later too.
So who were the coaches before him? Since you're looking at it,
Wayne Morgan and Greg McDermott. So Greg McDermott was
at Iowa State.
Yeah, they hired him. That's how Creighton got him. Yeah. Hopefully.
Never mind. Forget everything I just said.
No, I think we were just off by a decade.
Well, no, but I thought Fred Hoiberg was. I thought he was the mastermind of Iowa State being good, but he wasn't. Never mind. Well, I was giving him more credit than he was worth.
I think they achieved their highest ranking with him.
Were they ever a 1 seed under Hoiberg?
It doesn't appear so. 2 seed or a 3 seed is the highest, I think.
Yeah, no, they didn't.
Because they got a 2 seed that year. They lost to Hampton.
The party animal Larry Eustacia got a better team than Fred Hoiberg.
Yeah, I think they were just doing the seedings incorrectly. That's probably why.
Yeah, maybe.
What if they put Nebraska? What if Nebraska's undefeated? They're like, you still haven't won a game. We're going to put you in the play-in game.
See, because now we go back to when you talk about football playoffs and this kind of playoff. I think the same is true about basketball or baseball, and that's what you should do. These committees shouldn't rank the top. Whatever for this tournament, they should rank them 1 to 64.
Yeah,
and you should put them in that order.
Yeah,
it should be there's 1 seed. They're the number 1 seed. It doesn't matter that you got 4 sections of the bracket. You should be Correct. 1 through 64, and play it out. 1 gets 64, 2 gets 63, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And then somebody's going to argue, well, then they got a clear shot all the way. So what? They earned it.
Yeah, it's true. It would be interesting. They'll never do that because they would never make any money for basketball. But
you'd have some better storylines down in the middle of that bracket.
You know what would be a better storyline? Is Pizza Hut bringing back those Final Four basketballs.
The orange rubber ones?
Do you remember? No, it was like all different colors. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
And the Book It program. Would you read more on top of what you already read if the Book It program was still there?
No, but I did finish my first book of the year today.
Jeez. You're 26 days ahead of me.
Well, I was going to ask you that, and I was like, no, he doesn't read books. So.
Yeah. No, I probably have a book that still has a bookmark in it from 10 years ago.
I have to be honest. I listen on audiobook, but it still counts. So.
Well, that's fair. I mean, you should try to read and drive at the same time.
I might, because my wife got me a book I wanted to read, and she got me the hard copy so we could read it together, and I might have to just drive and read it.
Are you gonna put that one in the oven too, so the spine doesn't break?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's not the Bible.
Oh, that just only works for the Bible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only fair that the Bible wouldn't start on fire. That would be bad news.
This book is on fire.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Wowzers, what is going on here? Well, everybody, this is what our pre-show is like sometimes. We just talk about dumb things.
I did come up with some content, though. I need to talk about 2 more things. I know we only got like 4 minutes.
No, we can go 5 more hours if we wanted to.
No, you need to go to bed.
We're not going to. Well.
So your brother, shout out to Nate. Nate and I are baseball fans, and we talk baseball. Nate posted something a couple weeks ago on Facebook about
doesn't he post things on Facebook?
About the MLB Hall of Fame ballot. Well, the results are in. 2 center fielders got in.
Yeah.
But I have to give a shout out to Nate, because he told me privately, we were talking, and he said, because we're both obviously Alex Gordon fans, all the things there. He said, I'm really sad because most likely this is his only year on the ballot, because if you don't get so many votes, you come off the ballot. You don't even get to go back on.
Okay.
And Alex Gordon got 1 vote in the Hall of Fame balloting.
Haters.
Haters. Here's what I told my son, because he was an Alex Gordon fan too. I said, Alex Gordon just went into the Royals Hall of Fame. He's getting his number retired at Kauffman Stadium, and if you remember out in the fountains, there's only like 3 numbers that the Royals had retired.
Correct.
And he's getting a number. He's getting the number 4 retired. One of the Hall of Fame inductees is Carlos Beltran, who was a Royal.
Yep. Royal before he was a Yankee or a Met too, right?
Or an Astro. And he doesn't even have his number retired as a Royal. Mm. So who was the better Royal, Carlos Beltran or Alex Gordon?
Oh, well, Alex lives closer to me, so there's probably more harm.
That's your dad's logic. Whose birthday is closest to?
Well, I'd probably run into him first before I rated the Carlos, so I'll probably say Alex.
Yeah.
I saw an interview with him over the weekend, or a recycled clip of a podcast he was on, and they said they didn't realize that Alex Gordon went undrafted coming out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked him why, and he goes, because pretty much his mom and dad sabotaged it and said, he's going to college because. He said that his parents, they asked him, like, did you get mad at your parents for doing that and hurting your draft stock? He's like, no. He's like, a few hours later, I was kind of over a few days, because he's like, I wasn't mature enough to deal with that.
Yeah. And I had heard also, and this might have been more in the media than that's a pretty cool story, that he had already committed to Nebraska. Mm-hmm. And in that day and age, it was already everybody knew, so they didn't want to waste the late pick on him. Correct. But who was the catcher?
Jeff Christie. I don't know.
Go
ahead. I'll let you finish your question.
There was a catcher during that same 3 years that Gordon was there at Nebraska that he went, if I'm not mistaken, he went out of high school but didn't make it, so then he went back to college.
Jeez.
And played at Nebraska. So they had a catcher and Alex Gordon as 2 major leaguers on that Husker roster. But I don't remember who it was.
It wasn't Jeff Christie?
It might have been, but I didn't think it was. But
I feel like it might be.
It probably is.
Because
that could be.
Jeff Christie played, what years exactly? I'm kind of peeking real quick.
Mm-hmm.
He would have played, because he went to community college and then he came
That's
to
what
Nebraska.
It was. Never mind. That's what it was. Jeff Christie, there you go.
Yeah, but Christie, I'm pretty sure he went to Southeast too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
So, yeah, he, I think it's Jeff Christie. Yeah. Currently the head coach, baseball coach at Nebraska Wesleyan.
Nice, which I heard Nebraska Wesleyan is looking for an offensive and defensive coordinator for their football team too.
Did you put in your application?
No, not yet.
Oh, still working on it?
Yeah.
You're working on your...
polishing up the resume.
Polish up the resume?
Yeah. Well, my last...
You're getting your references all together?
Yeah. Yeah. All my Christian references to coach at a Christian school. My last piece of content for this episode is a somber one. So you're going to get this one on this day in history, I'm sure.
Okay.
This day in history, there's some not very famous things. 1913, Jim Thorpe had to relinquish his 1912 Olympic medals for playing 2 seasons of semi-pro baseball before competing in the Olympics because he was then a professional, not an amateur. And
what's amateurism nowadays? But anyways,
exactly, yeah. Now Olympians are paid. Today's birthdays in sports. Wayne Gretzky turned 65 today.
Was he right-handed or left-handed?
I believe left-handed.
There you go.
And he's from Canada.
A.
So this day in sports history as well. May he rest in peace. Kobe Bryant died.
Do you remember where you were when that news happened?
Where were you when the world stopped turning?
Okay. Does everybody remember when BJ started singing on the podcast and we lost? No, I'm just joking. Do you remember when it happened?
Yeah.
Like, it's only 6 years ago, right?
2020. Yep.
Yeah.
January 26, 2020. I remember hearing the news and not believing it.
Yeah.
Similarly to when Dale Earnhardt died. I remember that day vividly because I was in Lincoln, Nebraska, and went to church that night, and Reg Malcolm told me he had died, and I said, "No way! I just watched the race." But where were you?
I was at my parents' house. I remember it being a weekend. It was either Saturday or Sunday. I guess we could fact check that one, but I was over at my parents' house helping them with something. And I was on Twitter real quick, and we turned on the news and sat there and watched the news. It was on a Sunday.
I was going to say it was a weekend because they were flying to a basketball tournament.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's crazy to think about.
So I listened to some interviews about Kobe's life, and Kobe was an all-in person, obviously. Most professional athletes are, but he was raised Catholic, and his mom, the story goes, his mom would invite him to mass and do all these things, trying to get him to be focused on his faith. And he says, when I retire, I will make faith a priority.
Yeah.
And he promised her that, and he did. And he tells the story, if I'm not mistaken, that it was either the day after his last game, he was at midnight mass the very next chance he could, and made right on his promise. And it sounded like his faith became very important to him in retirement. He was as dedicated to that as he was anything else in his life as he was. So I hope that's true. I really do. And I know it was a sad day in sports history.
Yeah, just imagine what his life and impact would be on all the things he was invested in the, his church and his
think about
growing
the WNBA.
like growing that, like what impact he would have had on the hats, if not, it'd be interesting. Yeah. He probably would have owned a few teams.
Yeah.
Especially with his daughters being heavily involved.
True.
So,
well, this has been fun pre-show, but it's getting hot in here, so I need to go.
You can go get a milkshake, bring all the boys to the yard. All right. Okay. Well,
who let the dogs out, though?
Yeah. Who let the dogs? I just think of Alan from The Hangover singing that in the hallway. He's like moving his foot a little weird. So stupid.
You know what song I thought of the other night and quoted and thought of you?
Oh my gosh. Pretty Fly for a White Guy?
Absolutely.
100%. That's right. That's right. Little Offspring.
Little Offspring. Yep.
It was a staple back in the day.
Still kind of
is, yeah.
Yep. Well, and speaking of music, Voda just released a new album.
Oh, yeah.
So shout out to Brian Olson and Voda. Way to go, dude.
I haven't listened to it yet.
I haven't either.
It's on Spotify, I think.
Cool.
What isn't on Spotify?
Maybe you could make it to the background of our post this week.
Make Voda's album?
Or one of their songs or something.
In the background of the graphic?
Yeah. Like you do sometimes, you add music to it?
Like yeah. Yeah. Well, that's if they're on...
Free?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Enjoy. Have fun with it.
Okay.
Kill it.
Kill it. Kill who? Well, at least we know Bree doesn't want to kill you anymore.
Yeah.
Bree had her wisdom teeth out and verbally assaulted BJ.
That you showed me, but you did tell me she had some private moments that were very nice.
She was nice. Yeah. She felt bad for...
Your kids love me, and I appreciate that.
I think your kids love you more than they love me.
You think my kids love me more?
No, I think my kids. Yeah.
Well,
no, it's an awesome thing, the relationship that our families have. So,
yep, 100%.
Once we get that compound and we start our own church, we'll be good. No, right. Don't do that, people. Don't do that.
Well, hey, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, see you later.
See ya. Bye.